With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate.
This is Red Lantern Russell from
Tomes of Evil,
and you're listening to Sector 2814, a Green Lantern podcast.
This episode of Capes and Lunatic Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatic Sidekicks podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to another week of Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master Coordinator.
I'm Will. Hey everyone.
And Master Daddy himself, Matt Conan. Yes, MIA again. It's only been a week, you know. You remember that first week? You're like, what is time?
Oh yeah.
Time is a construct. What did you want to keep about that first week? It's like, time is a construct. You know, there is no time.
There is no time.
So yeah, so just two of us again this week. We were just talking. We were just talking off mic about you said you read Green Lantern 2 and spoilers, explosive ending.
Very explosive ending. It's a really good setup. You know, there's lots of action. I mean, you know, they start off on number one right in the middle of a bunch of action, but they're still going for kind of a slow burn. There's a lot more going on than they're revealing, and you know the characters know. So I'm looking forward to it, seeing how it goes.
Yeah, did you read the Future States issues? But there was two of them.
I've got them here, but I have not read them yet.
Yeah, this stuff's, I don't know if they're kind of going in that direction because in the Future State stuff, you know, Hal finally makes it to Oa, and you know, Sojourner's like, "Where were you?" You know. and like John and the rest of the Guardian or the rest of the Lanterns were like powerless, so yeah, they're kind of going that way.
Well, yeah, I thought it was interesting the way they're kind of setting up them joining the United Planets. And
oh yeah, what did you think of that with them giving up like a couple? Well, was it like a third of their sectors,
and then sending them out to go find out what the heck's going on kind of the frontier, which plays eerily into me, you know, binging the animated series last week. Wow, that's pretty cool.
And what do you think about that? Like they were like stripping ranks and like, you know, basically all Lanterns are equal or equal at this point.
I don't know. There was a really good speech by one of the Guardians. You know, we're not your parents. We're maybe just elder siblings, which I thought was kind of nice. You know, we're all going to be kind of working together. But I mean, Salak has always been on our guard. You know, he's one of those that knows things, right? You know, I feel like that there need to be Green Lanterns that are not assigned a sector, that aren't actually going off on this big thing. And I don't know if that needs to have some different hierarchy or if they're just differently assigned. I mean, I don't know. It is a change, and maybe it's getting it away from, you know, the more militaristic stuff.
Maybe.
So it's more, I guess we'll see.
But just like blowing up the battery, it's like, you know, are they going to be powerless for how long? I'm like, don't drag that out. You know, I come the Green Lantern for the rings, and you know, and then where they're like, oh yeah, Cal's off in this far sector. I'm like, no. I'm like, come on, I want to see Cal eventually. Okay. I get a lot of people, some people, you know, we've had Hal for a while, so, you know, we can give a break to him.
Yeah.
But come on, Cal Rayner, it's been a while.
Yeah, I did. My wife was looking for something, and she found this. I think it's from one of the toys.
Is that like a movie one? Maybe.
I think maybe from the movie. I still haven't found my others. They're in a box upstairs. I just need to go find that box, that particular box.
So I don't know if it's like a better quality, but I don't know if you saw the link I sent tonight. It's like, it's like another, what's it, like $35? It's like a light up lantern ring. So I don't know if it's.
Yeah, and they came out with a set that you could have a lantern and a ring, and when you touch the lantern, everything would light up.
I want that. Yes.
Yeah, I still want that. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think the lantern lights up. I'm like, oh my God, I want that.
Yeah, I don't think I can afford it at this point, but I do want it.
I want that. I want a, I mean, it could be one of those plastic ones, but I want like a Falcon and Winter Soldier shield. I want a flash ring.
Legion ring. Got one back there. Plastic one.
I was going to say, I got a plastic one back here. That's the problem, man. They make these props like they look too nice now.
Yeah, I mean, which is a good problem to have, it really is. Back in the day, they didn't look so cool.
Well, that's what I said. Like, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm going to put, build a big house. I'm going to put a home theater in there, and of course, the only way you're going to get to it is like behind a sliding bookcase, that you open with Shakespeare's head. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Maybe Santa. Oh, thank you, Mom. Oh yeah, just do it like a home theater. Buy some of those like Batman suit. Yeah, some of those movie suits. Put them in glass cases.
Yeah, that would be very, very cool.
Dead sidekick not included.
Yeah, just the sidekick's costume. So good week.
Yeah, I was trying to think of anything like new. No new series, like there was new episode of The Flash tonight, and oh man, Batwoman's weird now.
Did Superman and Lois start back up?
It just came back tonight. It's on as we speak.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'll have to watch that later.
Yes.
Been looking forward to that.
Yeah, they did a few, and then they took that break. I don't know if it's because someone tested for COVID or something. I believe that was the break. Yeah, then they did like the first half of Supergirl's final season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then this Monday coming up is going to be the final episode of Black Lightning.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's hard to believe they had that, what do they call it? The Berlanti-verse or whatever.
Yeah, or the Arrowverse. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Arrowverse.
That'll spun out of Arrow, yeah.
That's a lot of episodes of a lot of different shows that came out of there.
Oh, yeah, Stephen Amell was there, Robert Downey Jr., yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Crisis on Infinite Earths was kind of their endgame.
Except done on a TV budget, right?
yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad for a CW TV budget. Yeah, the Crisis wasn't bad. Yeah. Did you see? Was it last week? I think they put up character posters for the characters from the Black Widow movie.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that last week. I think.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah. And all the actors, but they didn't name Taskmaster. So I'm obsessed with it. I'm like, is it just gonna be a stunt guy, or is it gonna be
who is the Taskmaster?
Oh my God, Charlie Esser was on a rampage this morning because did you see? I guess they're coming out with a Snake Eyes movie. I don't know if they're trying to reboot the G.I. Joe franchise.
Oh no, I hadn't seen that yet.
And I guess it's a prequel, but Charlie was all mad because he's like, you could see his face and hear his voice. And it's like, yeah, it's prequel.
He didn't always not talk, right?
He was injured, wasn't he? Yeah. The one character everyone wanted to be when you were playing G.I. Joe's Snake Eyes.
That's right.
Then you switch Transformers, everyone wanted to be Optimus Prime.
Absolutely. Of course, there were some other cool ones, like Sideswipe and Prowl. Prowl was awesome.
Yeah.
Not Bumblebee, though. Not
just the toy was just so small compared to the rest of them.
Yeah.
Megatron. It actually fade one. That's what. Yeah, kids. They make him look like laser guns now, but back in the day, man, they made Megatron look like an actual gun.
Oh yeah.
They're not
Ultra Magnus.
Oh yeah.
The boys give me a lot of crap, but there was one season of Transformers that came out over here. I think it was called Robots in Disguise. It only lasted one season, and that was it. It was kind of a bridge between Beastmaster or Beast Machines and then something else. I can't even remember what it was.
Okay.
But it was awesome. I mean, it had Optimus was a fire truck, and Ultra Magnus, was the big, car carrying truck. But then they could merge together to form Ultra Prime, I think was what it was. I don't know. It was awesome.
Oh,
I love that show, and they haven't released it on DVD or anything.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a rights thing or. Yeah, I watched the original cartoon as a kid. The Death of Prime.
Yeah, me too.
The Death of Prime wrecked me, and no, like Transformers comics. Those were the first comics I ever read. That's what got me in the comics.
It was, strangely enough, Green Lantern for me.
Wow, what a shock!
I know, that's Green Lantern 1. I'll have to look it up. I always forget it.
This is the one
How's
falling out of the
plummeting to
helicopter. Yeah.
Yeah, he's plummeting to his death and he's lost his ring, and Green Lantern's up there gonna shoot it to him or something. I don't know. But I think that's the first one I remember having or buying. I hope I still have it somewhere around here. I need to see if I can locate it. But
Yeah.
I do remember not getting the second part of that for many, many, many years. Did he survive? Well, yeah, probably, since, the title did go on for several more issues after that.
That's like when you shop the back issue bins, or like you go to a con and you pick up old issues. Yeah, it's I try to look carefully now to see if it's like an arc, try to get the everything in the arc. 'Cause it's like, or you look and it's like it's like a 5-part story and they got like the first 4 parts. It's like, oh, come on.
Oh yeah, come on, man, just one more part.
Hey, can I tell you my biggest pet peeve is like either you go into a store, one of these cons or something, and you could tell these guys just like threw the issues in the box. They're in no order.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, what? You want me to sit here for 2 hours just going through this stuff?
Yeah, sometimes you can find some gems that way, but I just don't have the patience anymore.
I mean, it's one thing like if I'm by myself, but if I'm with the family, or like again, there's like one con around here where it's like it was so crowded. It was like if I stand here and try to go through all these boxes, I'm gonna get like run over.
Yeah.
That's all right. They're starting a Steel City con up again. I think in June, is middle of June. I think William Shatner's coming.
Oh wow! They're gonna have one here in Northwest Arkansas. I think in August, which, I mean, that's, 3 months out. So hopefully things will be, much better. I don't know. It's practically in my backyard. So I probably need to go and set up, but I'm still a little twitchy, I guess. We'll see how.
Yeah. Peddling, crossover division. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Oh,
and diary and,
I'm just talking about going to see people. Yeah, you could actually get a table. Yeah,
theoretically,
you're actually somebody. Yeah.
Somebody. Yeah, right.
Hey, man, you got a book. That's more than I can say. You got 2 books. That's more. At least Kona could stand there and tell jokes. Man, couldn't even do that. Oh my god, I can't. Oh my god, he's gonna have to run his like new material past us. Man, these diapers, man, I tell you what.
They get filled up way too fast.
Man, like she goes like 10 times a day. I'm like, what is she eating? Mexican? All right. So do you want to jump into these since we have 3 tonight?
You bet. Let's hit the ground running.
All right, let's start with Green Lantern Corps quarterly number 2 because I couldn't find the summary for this one. The other 2 I could, so. Mm-hmm. You may know it with the picture of Alan Scott choking himself on the cover.
Good call.
Yeah, I forgot I didn't have this one in a floppy. The other 2 I actually do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it starts with the Book of Answers with Hal talking to the floating guardian heads.
Yeah, the continuity on this was really, really tight. I mean, you went from 28 to this, Mosaic 5, and then to 29 of Green Lantern. I mean, it was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, because, it has Hal standing on the first page. He's like, okay, I brought you Evil Star. Yeah, remember kids? Remember kids last episode?
Last week, kids.
But yeah, I don't get that. He's like, oh, you held him in the psi cells once. I'm hoping you can do it again. Why not? Why couldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh my lord! But I forgot about some stuff. I was rereading Third Law this weekend. Oh my!
Mm-hmm.
We're in for some treats, kids.
I've forgotten most of that. I will be rereading them soon, though. So,
oh yeah,
awesome.
I mean, it's basically the Guardians are like, okay, let us tell you why we went away. After 224, yeah. Well, not so much. Let us tell you. It's like, you don't need to know. But then they finally find out.
You find out, yeah.
But then Hal's talking to them about looking for more of the escapees, and the Guardians are like, the minds of the Guardians are spent on, more important stuff than looking for a couple jailbreaks,
Yeah.
I love how he's like, you won't even look for them? But omnipotence is a quality best used sparingly.
I like that. Well, you can always quit. And he's like, whoa, that escalated quickly.
I mean, I can see Hal's side, but I was waiting for a Guardian to say, isn't that why we employ you?
Yeah. Isn't that your job?
I'm like, yeah, I get it, Hal, but I mean, when have they ever been proactive? They're always like, hey, we need a Green Lantern.
Yeah. Jump.
Exactly.
Dance monkeys.
But he's like, yeah, you're not going to answer my questions about Evil Star. And then they're talking about some kind of cosmic detox program, Hal calls it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we see Evil Star again after this?
I'm trying to remember. Like I said, I haven't. I'm up. I just read the third loss. I'm up around. I read up to issue like 35. I'm trying to remember. Unless I'm forgetting something. Yeah, I don't know if we see him before Emerald Twilight. So.
Yeah. Wow.
Do we ever see him back again?
Do we ever see him again? I don't know.
I was going to say some of the stuff post Rebirth. I can't remember, but
yeah, and I'm still
here. Let me look this up. Maybe I'll see if I can.
I'm going to comment a little bit on 29 ahead of the game. I'm still amazed that we haven't. Green Lantern should be the title.
Yeah,
and he's talking toys with Olivia Reynolds. In 29, I'm like, could we have done something a little more? And they did we'll talk about it when we get there, but the line from Hard Traveling Heroes.
Oh, okay. Evil Star does show up again, but there's a reason why I don't remember this. Because I guess it says the Guardians send him to Errol Rehab Facility, where they used a brainwave nullifier in an attempt to cure him. This rehabilitation was only partially successful, as the nullifier stimulated his subconscious, recreating the Starlings who brought him the Star Band. Evil Star fled to Earth in a confused state, believing the Starlings were persecuting him. He fought with Farron Kalos, one of the Dark Stars, so I wonder if he shows back up in Dark Stars.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I haven't read those yet, so yeah, that's probably who flooded Star's mind with reminders of the lives he had taken, starting with his homeworld. Evil Star's mind shut down, and he was returned to the Guardians for re-education. And is this the last one? The only other thing I see is during Underworld Unleashed.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, Evil Star was freed by Neuron with enhanced Starlings, but returned to captivity by the Dark Stars and Guy Gardner.
Okay, then. Cool.
So I think we're in for. I think we're in for that too. So, but that's not going to be till Cal's run. So,
yeah,
Underworld Unleashed. Yeah,
by Mark Waid.
I'm trying to remember if I read that whole miniseries. I know I read a bunch of the tie-ins, but
yeah, it's been a long, long time. Speaking of Waid, he has a story in this issue, which is pretty awesome.
I'm hoping that he told me to get back in touch with him. Hopefully in June, maybe, or July. Hopefully, I'm going to might talk to Wade about some of his Flash.
Yeah, because he had a really long, great run on Flash.
Oh yeah. So that's your Evil Star update, kid. We'll be seeing.
We know you wanted to know.
Not with Hal Jordan. So then, yeah, Hal takes off and finds John meditating. Hey, John, looking for tips on how to make a better mosaic. But he tells him about how Chip died.
Yeah.
And then Hal's like, what? How? I was out of control. I was possessed by the soul of Sinestro. Of course, yeah, Green Lantern Mosaic 2 and Green Lantern Mosaic 3.
Then I gave a bunch of kids some power rings. What?
I know, but Hal's even questioned him. He's like, how do I know your head's on straight now? Yes, he gave the ring. So basically, in the span of, 2 pages, we've summarized Mosaic 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, pretty much.
So basically, for those of you not reading, you should read it.
Editor's note.
We're killing Green Lanterns. Sinestro's soul's on the loose. We're just willy-nilly giving rings to kids.
Chip in the animated series is awesome, by the way.
I'm trying to remember. Did they bring him back post-rebirth?
I don't know. I'll check on that in a few minutes.
Yeah. I mean, they could always pull like a Tomar Ray and just like bring in another, one of his species.
Another, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the animated series was pretty darn awesome, I have to say.
So, I mean, like, of course, retcon-wise, we know Parallax is, like, subtly influencing Hal, but is Hal, like, a troublemaker at this point? It's like you kind of see you could kind of understand the tension between him and Guy Gardner, but now it seems like he's getting kind of lippy with Jon Stewart, and it's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't our brain damaged thug. I mean, this is Barbara Streisand's biggest fan. It's like,
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I kind of feel like it was manufactured conflict between him and John, so they could have, so Mosaic 5 could happen.
Rose. Oh Lord.
Okay, it says here that Chip was struck and killed by a yellow truck.
Yep.
A ghostly image of Chip repeatedly appeared to Jon Stewart, but the true nature of this manifestation remains unexplained. In the current incarnation of the Green Lantern Corps, another native of Helvan, Badig, carries on Chip's legacy as Green Lantern of Sector 1014. So, yep, he's still dead, but he does come back in the Blackest Night.
Oh, yeah,
as a Black Lantern.
That's right. I think we did look that up before. Yeah, there's a Guy Gardner take him out.
He's finally destroyed by Red Lantern Guy Gardner. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. So it's like Guy Gardner becomes like the trash man. He like takes down. He helps take down Evil Star. Zombie Chip.
Zombie Chip.
But yeah, John's like, yeah, Sinestro's gone now. I don't know where he went.
Shouldn't we look for him? No, I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's totally fine.
And John's like, yeah, I can't be sure of anything because, the Mosaic is weird. And he's like, tell me, John, has anything happened to Rose? Yes, Hal. I happened to her. Whoa! He's like, why's that hit you so hard? What happened between you and Carol? Too much, not enough. I don't want to bring you trouble, John. You know trouble's coming because you think she should be with you, and she thinks she should be. Again, it's like, okay, what does she want?
Yeah. Does any of that matter?
Again, it's like Hal was like he had to take Earth from Guy Gardner. He even talk it over with John. It's like, oh hey, is it all right if I go instead of you? But since we have to drag that out to Green Lantern Mosaic at number 5, let's get to the story. Let's get to the other story.
Yeah, let's read the Book of Oa.
Yeah, the first one, of course. That Alan Scott one. Oh, Roger Stern, another great writer.
Which has Hector Hammond as the bad guy. Yep. It's not a bad. It's a pretty good story. I think the cover's by Dusty Abel, I think, but I don't remember who did the art on the Alan Scott story.
I'll look at the title, man. They like stole the title of your autobiography where there's a will. Oh, looks like Russell's awake. Howdy, Lanterns. Howdy, Russell.
Howdy, Russell.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, Russell's from Kentucky, man. It makes Arkansas look like New York City. New York City?
Wow. I thought it was the other way around, but I'll go with that.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I can't compare. I've been to Arkansas, but I've never been to Kentucky.
Where did you come to in Arkansas?
Was it close to Little Rock? Yeah, because What was that? I was like
middle of the state,
yeah,
Conway.
I think
Little
I can't. I was like, I think I was like 13. I was taking Taekwondo. There was like a tournament down there. Yeah. We came
cool.
down. We took like a, oh God, what was it? Like 16-hour bus ride down there. So.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I know. So half the time I was probably like sleeping on the bus floor. So. It seemed nice. Oh my God, it was the perfect weekend, man. It was like martial arts, and then like in the lobby of the hotel we were staying at there, well, they had like some kind of like, I don't know if it was like a ballroom or something. There must have been some like little mini comic convention, just happened to be there when I was there.
Oh, that was cool.
I mean, no really guess, but it was basically just like, you know, vendors selling old comics. I picked up a bunch of old comics.
Sounds like the perfect trip.
Oh my Lord. Okay. I don't have to rip on Kentucky. Russell's doing it. Kentucky is a wasteland of Mountain Dew and tobacco. Again, to varying degrees. So is Arkansas. So is Pennsylvania. We're all flyover.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, this Alan Scott story. I like that. Yeah, we get him and his kids and Molly.
Mm-hmm. And he uses a modern Green Lantern villain, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Hector Hammond, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how his wife used to be. Was it the Harlequin?
Mm-hmm.
Not Harley Quinn, the Harlequin.
The Harlequin.
They, you know, and for those of you not familiar, they give you like the summary of, you know, Jade and Obsidian are his kids, and how he met his wife, and how he used to fight Solomon Grundy and Icicle. Oh, yeah, Hammond, because we're going to be getting Hammond soon here in a few weeks.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, it was a pretty serviceable story. You know, nothing spectacular, but.
Oh yeah, and then the news report. Oh, the reported drowning of Doiby, Dickles, member from Green Lantern 19. Like what?
Who's king on the planet of baseball and Amazons? I guess I don't know.
Now supposedly drowned on Earth.
Yeah.
Because Molly even says, she's like, I just saw him weeks ago, and of course they give you the Green Lantern 19 editor's note.
Green Lantern 19 editor's note.
Russell, my boy Alan, looking forward to his story in that Pride issue. Yeah.
Yeah, that came out this week, didn't it? Or was it last week?
Is that out yet? I know last week they did what is it, like the Asian Pride one? I know because yeah, so I don't know. I think that's a different one. I don't know if this one's out yet, but yeah, because I know last week, like, Lilith's like, oh, did you read it? I'm like, I didn't know it was out. I'm like, they could have promoted it better. I mean, I see promotion, but I never saw like a date on it. All right. Of course, Alan goes to recharge. I'm not familiar with this. Are you familiar with the guy who drew this story?
Who is it?
Here, let me scroll back. It was Dusty Abel, A-B-E-L-L.
Yeah, he did a few things. He did the cover of this, and I think there was like remember him doing an Action Comics annual, I think.
Okay, I might have.
Maybe.
I think I read all this. I probably read it. I just forgot. But yeah, I like his art. I mean, I like his art. Like I said, I'm not familiar, but I like what he did here.
Mm-hmm.
And so Alan charges up and goes to the morgue to check Doiby's body. But then his brain goes crazy.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. Then he gets attacked by Hector. Who attacks him? I'll try not to make this too painful for you, old man. Whatever possessed you to come out of retirement?
Because the JSA they were in their 20s. They should have been in their 70s, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say wasn't there all kinds of weird stuff every so often that like kept them young and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like eventually, once he creates it, you know, Mark Waid creates the Speed Force. I think they were like, yeah, that's what keeps like Jay Garrick young and stuff, and well, somewhat young.
Whoops.
And I don't think we're gonna do all the quarterly issues, but like I think we got the last maybe 7 and 8 on, you know, issue 7 and 8 on our list. Yeah, because eventually Alan gets the Starheart that kind of like de-ages him.
Yeah, which, you know, they were bringing up in the latest Green Lantern issues, you know, because the captured core of magic or something for the universe.
Yep. But yeah, Alan just like ripping on Hammond. I know all about you. You were just another small time crook before you were transformed into something in the future. But yeah, Alan's like, yeah, he's still drawing on my rings power, and basically defeats him. But then it's not Doiby in the morgue; it's Hammond's body.
Yeah, I think he was just pretending to be dead.
Yeah.
Obvious, I guess. So hey, now he's unconscious. Should be a short walk to the jail cell, right?
Yeah, it was basically, what does he say, a miniature holographic projector.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they basically fought in his mind. But yeah, once Alan figured out what was going on, he was able to break free. And again, where there's a will, there's a way. And then the next story, we get a new, the Mark Waid story, we get a new lantern.
Is that Breen, I think?
Let's see. Is it Bree or Breon? Breeon.
Breon. Okay, yeah, Breon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a pretty good one, though. I think this is probably my favorite story of the issue.
So I guess it says by Mark Waid and Ty Templeton. So I'm guessing Ty Templeton did the pencils.
Yeah, I think yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because it lists an inker and colorist, but yeah, not a penciler. So I'm assuming it's Ty Templeton.
Yeah, and basically this is just a comedic way of explaining the limits of the 24-hour charge. Right.
Oh yeah, like trying to take down like a giant like yellow machine. Yeah, I mean, most of these stories are entertaining, but yeah, they usually try to like in every issue quarterly include at least one or two stories of like lanterns you've never seen before, basically just like defending their home world and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, nothing too cosmic, but
and this is like, I'll go back in time. No. I'll go into a different time zone. No. There's just some really great things with time that he talks about.
I know. Oh, but I love how he takes on this yellow machine. He takes his ring and like throws it in like a window or something, and he can like go off inside it. And
it breaks it, and then he has to try to find his ring because his 120 seconds have run out.
And he's like, I'm talking to my hand.
I'm talking to my fist.
Yeah, and it wasn't, not a long story, but pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's like an 8-pager, I guess, just pretty short.
Something like that, yeah. Oh my lord! Then the next one, of course, written. The reason why this isn't on DC Universe Infinite, Gerard Jones, writer. Yes, Tim Hamilton, penciler. Yeah, I've heard of Templeton, but some of these other pencilers I've never heard of. I wonder if this was a trying out proving ground for some
I think so, because it was shorter stories, so it was a chance for artists to work on prove themselves on shorter stories,
maybe,
and then move on, to full length books or something, or not.
Yeah, but I mean, this one's pretty interesting. I don't think they ever reference this again. It's like, because this is like Human Green Lantern, but what is it? Probably like the 1800s.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that's Earth.
Oh, true.
Honestly, because there was.
It looks like Earth, but then he like goes off into space to another planet. So
yeah,
because they really don't give you a year, and they don't even like say like Earth or it looks like Earth,
but then there was in issue number 2 where the Guardians are explaining things to John in the latest series. Is that talking about your world has spawned 7 Green Lanterns? And I went, wait a minute, let's count them. Al, Guy, John, Kyle,
Simon,
Jessica. What's Jessica?
And then
Sojourner.
Yes,
Joe. That's the 7, and that doesn't count the Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott, because he wasn't a typical Corpsman, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's the one that they approved. Yeah, so Alan Scott wasn't, just basically like found his ring and lantern. And again, I don't know if you count Teen Lantern because like she doesn't even have like a ring; it's that gauntlet thing or whatever.
Yeah, and that's something they reference too, is that she's not part of the Corps yet. She just has the gauntlet at this point. So yeah, that kind of made me think that maybe they intended this to be on Earth in the 1800s, but it's.
But again, I don't think they ever reference it, do they?
I don't think we'll ever see it again.
Who knows? Again, they don't give it a year or like a place. So, I mean, could be another universe.
Could be. This is infinite. The DC Infinite Universe.
It's a filler issue.
This is the first appearance of the Infinite Universe right here. Go get this issue.
Exactly. At this point, we're not supposed to have other universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, basically, this guy like fighting in space, but then he just like stays in his cabin when he's home.
Mm-hmm.
He takes his dog with him. Oh my God, this is you! Oh my God, this is you with your rig, man. You'll be taking that dog everywhere.
With my Basset Hound Otis, huh?
Exactly. Then the next story, The Trouble with Yellow, by Doug Mensch, writer of, he wrote some Moon Knight, and of course, you know who he famously wrote.
I love Batman.
This is an odd story because it's the Book of Oa telling Hal and John a story, but in the story, the Green Lantern tells another story to the kid. I'm like, wait a minute, what level of Inception are we on here? Hang on.
Here's the story of someone telling a story. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's very cartoony and...
Oh, the story, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if some of this just like filler.
It feels like it. I mean, there seems...
I wonder if like they were just like, yeah, we need some like short Green Lantern stories for like issues of quarterly, so they just put out the word. They're like, oh hey, if you want to like write like a short Green Lantern story, doesn't have to be any Green Lantern we've ever seen, doesn't have to be any Green Lantern we'll ever see again. Yeah, just go wild and
I think that probably explains, because the stories are really uneven. I mean, we get some really good ones, but we also get some really kind of weird ones, that don't really kind of mesh up with anything else. So
I mean,
but they're all basically good stories still. I mean, it's just that the tone and the execution of them vary wildly.
I guess they just want to like flesh out the core and stuff. And again, at this point, I mean, are these past Green Lanterns who aren't Green Lanterns anymore? Because that core's still not that big, is it?
Yeah, who knows at this point? Because the core is still, 12 people? 12.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that it's like, I don't know. I would think sometimes we get, like, I don't know, like a Untold Tale of Hal Jordan, or something, or Guy Gardner, or something like that.
Well, I mean, the Book of Oa it talks about the future and the past and all those things, right? So I guess all bets are off at that point.
I guess, yeah. It's like, give us an Untold Tale of Hard Traveling Heroes, something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like you said, that one was pretty weird, especially that story, like very cartoony bugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The reason I'm sad Matt Cona's not here. The next story, the Gnort story. I'd rather Gnort featuring Gnort by Scott Lobos.
And Sax Girl.
Yes. This one's for you, Matt Kona. Let's talk about Sax, baby. Like I said, in honor of you, Matt Kona.
Yeah, this is pretty standard, goofy Gnort stuff, is
Exactly. It's like, what is it, like a planet of, looks like accountants or something?
3 eyes.
Exactly.
Very strange.
Basically like an intergalactic bank robbery. And oh, look, who comes crashing out of the sky? Yes, Gnort and Sax Girl. Who, if you see like their first appearance in the story, doesn't she look kind of similar to Aricia at this point?
Maybe, yeah.
A little
bit.
bit.
I can see that. Mm-hmm.
Are we trying to fool the kids here? That would be that would have been some kind of team up at that point, Gnort and Aricia.
Well, yes and no, but because she was very competent as a Green Lantern.
That's true.
And Gnort is Gnort,
True. Oh, but I love these guys. We specifically ordered this Green Lantern of Sector 2814. We wanted Hal Jordan.
Yeah. And they sort of get Hal Jordan, but not really.
I know. Rest assured, gentle people, there's nothing Hal can do that I can't, at least as well. Only slower and different. Unique, even. But yeah, what's this, like the black hole gang? The black hole in the wall gang?
Black hole in the wall gang.
So yes, I guess the gang is afraid of Hal Jordan. So yes, Gnort tries to disguise himself as Hal Jordan, but he forgets to do something
his
about
ears.
his ears. Yes. So it looks like Hal with giant dog ears. You can either surrender peacefully or alphabetically. There's something. Won't be that easy, Mr. Jordan. There's something different about you since last we met. It's his ears, sir. No, that's not it. There's something about his demeanor. Perhaps you've forgotten the vow I made when last we met, Hal Jordan. The one where you promised to write once a week? No, you fool.
And he goes on.
I
The
know.
one where you...
Yeah, when you said you'd buy bonds and support the war effort, I said I never said such a thing. Yeah, they basically just the guy like punches them away.
And then finally it's revealed that it's not Hal, but it's Gnort. But Gnort was exactly the Green Lantern that they needed, right?
That's right. Because when the Hole in the Wall gang takes off their armor, they're cats.
They're cats.
How fortuitous.
What did they say? His canine ferocity is what they were trying to avoid.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to find the line. We don't stand a chance. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, 'cause they're like a dog. Yeah, they just give up. We like to think of ourselves as star-spanning desperados first and cats second. Oh yes. We'll wait here for the proper authorities to hurl us into prison rather than face your canine might.
Nice.
Oh, Macona, where are you when I need you?
Yeah.
Gnort, you were amazing. When I have to be, sure, but keep it under your hat. And Sack Girl's like, oh, there's going to be no living with him now. And then we get back to the last page of Hal and John looking at the book. Because they're basically recapping. I can't believe Alan Scott is back. It's
Says John.
see Armageddon Inferno number 4 for most of that story. The whole Justice Society's back, Hal says, and they've already been doing a lot of good. Justice Society of America every month. Did we do this last issue too? The last page is just like a bunch of
plugs.
And then Hal and John say they're going to meet up, to have their talk. Of course, it's see Green Lantern Mosaic number 5.
5.
Then the little next issue blurb in 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
All right, so yeah, what did you think of that one?
Yeah, the stories were uneven, but it's got lots of Green Lantern goodness in it.
Were we already kind of like, I don't want to say running out of steam, but I wonder if like this month if they were like kind of, well, it's like we've lost Guy already, so it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, again, I mean, I was gonna say you could catch up with Aricia, but I mean she's gonna show up in Third Law, so maybe they didn't want to.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Again, how about like an untold tale of like Hal or somebody with the Justice League, something.
One of the things I kind of am a little critical of is the pacing, because I mean it's taken so long to get to this point, with Hal in one book and John in one book and then Guy going to be in another book. I mean, it feels like it should have been compressed a little more, and something bigger happening in the main Green Lantern title, because it's supposed to be the foundation, right? You've got all these other spin-offs, but it's supposed to be the big one, and Hal's playing with toys.
I know. I think, I don't know if they're trying to do is they're trying to make the regular Green Lantern book right now. It's like, Hal's Earth Adventures and like all the other books are like more cosmic and stuff. So they're trying to give you a little A, a little column B, but it's like
I don't know. The shine in my mind started to come off a little bit, at least on the core quarterly book and on the main Green Lantern title by this point.
All right. So do you want to get to Mosaic number 5? I have a summary.
Let's do it.
I was going to say, man, look at us again. No Matt Kona, man. We just drone on.
He keeps us in line.
Yeah. Oh Lord. The Child Man and the Great White Hero. Wow. So yeah, Green Lantern Mosaic 5, October 1992. Of course, written by Gerard Jones, pencils Cully Hamner, inker Dan Panosian, colorist Steve Matson, letters Albert de Guzman, editors Kevin Dooley and Eddie Berganza. So Hal, okay, they've been threatening it for a while. Hal Jordan visits John Stewart on the Mosaic. Both Green Lanterns have feelings for Rose Hardin, an Earthwoman who became trapped on the Mosaic world. Hal believes that John has used mind control on Rose. No, it's not Cosby. Because she refused when he offered to take she and her son Toby back to Earth. Because she wanted to help John bring stability to the patchwork cities on Oa. I love how, again, I mean, not to trample over your boy, but Hal's like willing to let everyone else just sit on the Mosaic, but he'll take Rose home.
Yeah.
Despite Rose's professions that she chose to stay of her own accord, the Lanterns come to blows. Of course, the collateral damage is significant, and Rose begs them to stop fighting for the sake of her house's continued existence. The Lanterns instead stage their battle in their minds. Hal plays upon John's guilt and insecurities, breaking his will. Hal mocks what he perceives as John's childishness, but he finds himself attacked by the more mature aspects of John's personality. Hal underestimates the multifaceted nature of John Stewart's personality and winds up at a standstill. John manages to show in some way that Hal was wrong to want Rose for himself. John challenges Hal to question his own anger. Hal is emotionally beaten, and John knocks him down with one punch. Oh! Should have hit him when said, "Take that, Gardner." Hal agrees to back off, and he and John part ways as friends. Meanwhile, John knows that sometimes Rose will still dream of Hal romantically in the same way that he dreams of himself as Hal, but in the end, the both of them will wake up to John Stewart. All right, Will, explain this to me. So John dreams of being Hal, and Rose dreams of being with Hal?
Yeah, there's lots of... I mean, I feel like the writer was really trying to bring a lot of, race and identity and stuff to that, but I question kind of how successful he was,
Well, again, it's Gerard Jones who's a white guy, and it's like...
He was a white guy, yeah. I mean, so... Maybe
we should have had a person of color writing this book?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how successful he was. I mean,
yeah, I get what he's going for, but yeah, again, it's like...
Yeah, I don't know how successful...
This white writer talking about the black experience, yeah.
Exactly. I don't know how successful it is. I mean, he's talking about something that he has, an idea about, but not necessarily any, lived in experience or anything like that. So, I think it's an interesting kind of weird mental battle between Hal and John, but I mean, he seems to revert to multiple different stereotypes.
Yes.
During the battle. So this isn't one of my... Mosaic works when it's best off on its own.
Yes.
When you kind of try to bring it back in, by throwing Hal in there, things get strange, and I don't think they work as well.
No.
Just because, Hal brings in that classical, heroic ideal from the 60s, right? Which, and, Hal is, is a white guy. So they're bringing that in. I don't know.
And it's like, too, you're mixing your themes, too, because, like, all of a sudden they're trying to make Hal Jordan more, grounded on Earth, trying to rebuild his life, leading Justice League Europe, and it's like, John's off on the cosmic, crazy town. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know how well the two stories are going to blend together,
I mean, the foundation for both stories, is that, road back first 8 issues of the book, but then they go off in wildly different directions, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think this was probably one of the weaker issues of Mosaic.
Oh yeah. I think you even said it. I'm like, it's basically drama for the sake of drama, because it's like, basically Hal's treating John like he's Guy Gardner, and he's the furthest thing from Guy Gardner.
Yeah, exactly.
If he would have said to Guy, "Oh, I see you. Are you trying to manipulate Rose?" I could see him believing that, but I'm like, John Stewart, really?
John, yeah. But Sinestro, I'm sorry, it's Sinestro.
Oh yeah, Sinestro was in your head for 5 minutes. And then, meanwhile, the irony, who's in Hal's head right now?
Parallax, yeah.
Yeah. But again, I mean, retcon. But I mean, if you retcon it, it's like, well, was that Parallax saying, "Oh yeah, let's stir up some trouble"?
Yeah,
we got rid of Gardner. Let's do, look, by the time we get to Emerald Twilight, Guy Gardner's no longer in the core. John Stewart wasn't in that story, so I mean, he basically,
yeah, once Emerald Twilight happened, we much later get explanations for what happened to the Mosaic and what happened after to all the other lanterns and everything. But at the time, it was just that's done. We forget about it.
But yeah, I mean, the retcon works because it's like, yeah, by the time we get to Emerald Twilight, I mean, I think the only person in that story who had a chance of stopping Hal maybe was Kilowog.
Yeah.
And we see how that went.
But that didn't work out so well.
Yeah. But we'll be there in a few months, kids.
We will. Shortly.
All right, we're almost
sooner than you think.
What? All right, we're almost at an hour, so should we get to the last one?
You bet.
Green Lantern, Volume 3, number 29, The Green Stuff. Again, another Gerard Jones written. Penciler, Mark Bright. Inker, Romeo Tangle. Colorist, Anthony Tollin. Letters, Albert de Guzman. And editor, Kevin Dooley. From September 1992.
Yeah, it was great still having the art team on.
Yes.
I think they do a great job.
Oh, definitely. But yes, this is a weird one, kids, as you can tell from the cover. At a toy convention, yes, Olivia Reynolds reveals her new toy line of Green Lantern action figures. Hal Jordan stops by his hotel room in Montoya Bay next to Carol Ferris's. Carol hints heavily that Hal has got the loan from the finance company that he needs for starting his own business. When he gets a call telling him that he got the loan, they are both happy, but Hal is suspicious that Carol had a hand in it. Hal travels...
P.S. She did.
Exactly. Hey, Rose don't want to be with you. Come on, man. Hal travels to New York City to meet with Olivia. She reveals her plan to have him endorse her line of toys, but Hal is offended by the suggestion that he would commercialize his identity in that way. Olivia pulls one of the strings on the back of one of her toys, and when it speaks, Hal takes issue with the way it talks. She suggests that he record some lines for it, for authenticity's sake. However, they're interrupted when a flying saucer's inhabitants demand to speak with Green Lantern. After some brief mishaps, Hal manages to get everything under control and meets with the leader of the aliens within the ship. The alien demands to know when Green Lantern will be looking into the needs of the other planets and species within Sector 2814. Okay, so cosmic hard-traveling heroes. Okay.
And we get the whole page that Neil Adams did in the Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams, Green Lantern, Hard Traveling Heroes. And I just...
When are you going to care about the purple people? I know. Yes, but when will we be looking at the needs of the other planets and species within Sector 2814 and not just the humans? Hal admits that he has been busy getting settled back on Earth and he will get to their needs as soon as he can. Satisfied, the aliens leave. Olivia demands to know what Hal's answer to her proposition is, but he refuses it. She pulls the string on one of her figures and finds that Hal has used his ring to prevent the figures from saying anything he disapproves of. I mean, I get that he's slowed her down, but can't she just build new dolls?
Yes, she can. Sure.
You know, at the end, it just made it seem like she was like, "Oh no, I can't! Oh no, you've destroyed my Green Lantern toy line forever." It's like, oh, can you build more? All right. So, what did you think of this one, Will?
You know, there was, more of him settling. I'm the settling I get should be the B story, but the A story should be a little bit more, have a little more stuff to it.
I get what you're saying. It's like this is already like what the 4th issue since he's taken back Earth, and we're still like worried about this air. We're still trying to set up the air transport business, and him and Carol are still living out of this hotel. It's like, do we have feelings for each other?
Again, it comes down to pacing. I feel like.
And again, I don't think they knew Emerald Twilight was coming at this point because they're.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, it's just, but I mean, everything seems to be so drawn out. I mean, it's almost like decompressed storytelling before we got actual decompressed storytelling, because we get 22 pages, but there's what are.
And again, is this
what are the stakes? The stakes for the A story should be a lot. They should be mirrored in the B story, but they should be a lot more, a lot higher stakes in the A story. But the A story was just him flying around and talking to some aliens. I mean, there was no, there's nothing to it, right?
No, and is this a case of like maybe continuity, maybe hurting the story because it's like he can't jump too far ahead because he has to keep pace with the other books? Because I mean, page 5.
I guess.
Page 5, we're getting hit with those editor's notes again because he's talking about the fight with Evil Star the last couple issues, and then the fight with John. So it's like, oh, check out the last couple issues of Green Lantern and Mosaic number 5, and
since he was the sole writer of all Green Lantern stuff at the time, it feels like continuity shouldn't be a problem.
No,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got one writer. Yeah, no, that should be no problem at all.
Yeah, it just feels like there should be more. There's not enough meat to this story in this issue. At least in my mind, it was just kind of, And, the art was great, but.
Yeah. And again, it's like, is maybe the continuity slowing it down because, Hal had to make an appearance in Mosaic. Hal has to be in Justice League Europe every issue.
Yeah.
So it's like, he doesn't have time to set up his personal life because he's everywhere. He's in everyone else's book at this point.
They don't even have to refer to the Justice League stuff, but
I know. Well, they were trying to go for that continuity, but I was thinking about that. Yes, because it's like back during those like the Blue Beetle Booster Gold era of Justice League, when Batman was in there, I was reading the Batman books. I don't think they ever mentioned like him in the Justice League.
Nope.
Ever.
Nope.
He stayed in Gotham, fought his rogues. You never heard nothing about Justice League.
That's right. Absolutely. So I don't know. I just.
Well, I was gonna like, was Gerard?
At this point, I expected more.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did Gerard Jones, was he writing Justice League Europe at that point too?
He might have been. I don't know. I'd have to double check that.
So I maybe just him having too much fun. He's like, oh, I can have how here and how here and how here. Oh my Lord. And then that last page we get remember at the end of 25, man, he had to go up in the orbit, give the thumbs up. Now he's just like smiling into the camera, flying over the city.
Yeah, which is cool and all, but it doesn't seem like he did anything to earn that, It was just some stuff happened, but that was it.
Hey, man, he shut down a female-owned business, man. Don't tell me he didn't do nothing.
And then saved some aliens who were there to tell him that, hey, you need to get out into your sector and help everybody, right? Okay.
You've been slacking on your job, and took out this woman's business. Good job. I mean, again, I know Olivia probably didn't have like didn't have the moral high ground, but she wasn't doing anything illegal.
No.
He didn't copyright his likeness or name or anything.
And she even wanted him to participate, but
And again, I don't think he probably doesn't even own the Green Lantern name. That's like the Guardians.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to get too heavily involved in the copyright or trademark law from OA, right?
Well, I think that's the other thing too. It's like Mosaic was, I think the Mosaic book was like doing new stuff, but do you think like at this point where Hal's got the Green Lantern book to himself again was Jones trying to do like a Silver Age maybe take? It seems like some of these issues, like we were saying with the Evil Star stuff, and even like the upcoming Monkey stuff,
Silver Age, with added drama or something, but it doesn't seem to work. I don't think it, and maybe that's for several reasons. Maybe it was just the wrong approach at the wrong time. But I mean, I think we see what happens in that, everything gets blown up in, 20 issues, right?
Is that another problem why the book wasn't selling? Because at least in this book, was he trying to do his take on the Silver Age? Because I see Olivia Reynolds, I see toys. I'm like, okay, he's trying to do the Silver Age.
Yeah, and I feel like he was almost too. I think you're right. I think he was almost too continuity conscious. Hey, let's go back and do Evil Star. Hey, let's go back and do where he loses his power ring. That's the Evil Star. Let's go back where the toys came to life, and he had power rings for sale because that was the whole thing at the beginning.
So I mean,
that was what Green Lantern number 2 or 3. Power rings for sale was the cover.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, look at this run. It's Evil Star now. Olivia Reynolds. When we get to the Monkey Business stuff, Hector Hammond. It's like okay, and a team up with Flash. Okay,
yeah. I mean, it's and there's good and bad in there, but if you're relaunching the book, you can't just replay the old stuff. You got to have some really new and good stuff in there. And Mosaic is new and strange and different, but Green Lantern didn't really seem to get kind of that focus. I mean, they try something with the Third Law, right? And I think there's an Adam Strange issue or 2 in there. But again, that seems almost to be replaying some of those Silver Age hits, with just kind of some, new paint on it.
Oh yeah.
And then we get, and that's not to say that, I mean, when you get right down to it, the Kyle take is basically, Peter Parker, the everyman, with given this responsibility, which is, a different take. And that seemed to resonate with a lot of people because it was, probably the perfect take for the perfect time because it resonated with a lot of people and it lasted a good long time. And, that's down to the the core idea behind it, the execution by, Ron Mars and Darryl Banks, and I'm trying to remember some of the other artists and writers that were on it. But this, I think, was kind of the wrong take at the wrong time. I don't think they were meshing up like they needed to be.
He wanted them all to have this big continuity mesh up, and again, I think he wanted to try to do every take. Mosaic was the new sci-fi thing. This book was, he wanted to do his take on the Silver Age and stuff, and like we said, I don't know if like the road back you could say was a reboot kind of, but not like a full reboot because you have a couple of Green Lanterns left. The Guardians come back, and you're trying to like.
Oh, it's deeply entrenched in continuity. It's just more like a relaunch than a reboot.
Yeah, you're trying to like rebuild on this like old foundation. Yeah, with the Cal stuff, I mean, they knocked everything pretty much back to zero. It's basically like a guy in a ring. That's it. And they took space out of it for a while. He was basically just like an Earth superhero, and then they slowly worked back up in the space stuff. Yeah,
and Mars, slowly started, kind of spoon feeding some of the older core stuff in, and older lanterns and the older characters, that were associated with, the Green Lantern, kind of mythos stuff, which was cool because, a lot of what appealed to me was this, grand cosmic legacy of, the Guardians and, their, I don't want to say soldiers, but, their intergalactic lawmen, or they're intergalactic troubleshooters, however you want to refer to them as. Basically these 3,600 protectors, chosen by the Ring to make the universe a better place. And I don't really get any sense of that in this issue. Do you? I mean, there's really nothing.
That's why I said it was Silver Age. He wanted to do, Hal as like, this superhero of Earth, and it's like.
Mm-hmm. It just, I just think it's, the last 4 issues kind of really demonstrate why it wasn't working very well. Hang on just a second. I'm going to mute you. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yes, he's leaving by myself. Usually we have Matthew Kona, and we do not have Matthew Kona. All right. I was going to say, should I play an ad here? Should I, It looks like Will is talking to someone in his household. Perhaps his wife. Hopefully it's not that dog.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was basically just muttering to myself. No, I was like, I hope he's talking to his wife and not his dog.
Both, actually.
Oh!
All right.
Yeah, we're way over, so.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get out of here. Told you. Matt Kona, we need you. Keep us in line. Crack that whip. All right, I'm just pulling up the schedule so we can tell what we're doing next. Oh, yes, next time it's going to be Sector 2814's episode of our Eclipso crossover from Green Lantern Annual 1. So we're going to be doing some Eclipso and Guy Gardner Reborn 1 through 3. Kona, you have to come back. So yes, Green Lantern Annual 1 and Guy Gardner Reborn 1 through 3. Whatever did happen to that Guy Gardner after he lost that fight. You're going to find out. All right. So yes, send your thoughts. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Sector 2814, the Green Lantern Podcast, on Facebook, Twitter. Find links to all of the various social medias for all of our various shows. Links to this YouTube channel. Links to our Patreon. More and more stuff happening there. Links to the merchandise, all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And please remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio and Hunt a Killer. Use the code Southgate for both of those for a discount. And go pick up Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn the ins and outs of podcasting from the experts and Rob Southgate. And get that on Amazon. And when you do, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and the man who strikes fear in the cats everywhere, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom.
Mark my words.
Fine. Remember, kids, follow Matt Kona on all social media @Matt Kona. Get those diaper jokes before anyone else. All right. Will Allred, Master of the Core. Where can people find you and Crossover Division and Diary of Night?
You can find me at Wallred. That's WALLRED at Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and all those places. You can find Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. Ooh, there's Pablo's cover. And you can find Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. That's Gene's cover. And if you are a discerning fan of Cosmic Tales, which if you're listening to us, I'm sure you are, then there is the Quantum Zone, which is all kinds of information about quasars. So that's quantumzone.org.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
That's right. Stay tuned. Probably end of June or beginning of July for the Quantum Zone Annual.
That's right.
Talk some of the Green Lantern, Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. All right. Yeah, remember, next week, Eclipso. I'm going to tell you what order to the these Eclipso issues in it. But yes, Green Lantern Annual 1 and Guy Gardner Reborn 1 through 3. With Lobo. And the corpse of Sinestro. So many weird things happening.
Weird stuff. Weird stuff.
Kids, come back next time. And remember, where there's a will.